Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Wednesday, January 11th, 2012. A lot to cover, so let's get right into the charts here. We'll start with the S&P 500 E-mini futures. You'll see that they are trading lower by $3.50 to 1282.50. Futures are off the lows of the day. However, they are coming under a little bit of pressure, especially as the U.S. dollar index rises. Let's take a look at the U.S. dollar index, and you'll see a pretty sizable pop here in the U.S. dollar index futures chart, trading higher by about 40 cents. They have pulled off the highs, and you can see as they pulled off the highs around 7 a.m., the markets have recovered a bit. But nonetheless, that relationship is still intact. When the dollar is stronger, the markets are weaker. It will become a little bit more prevalent once the volume picks up. Volume this week so far has been anemic, to say the least. It's been very, very light volume, but we should see the market start to pick up as earnings season kicks in, and the dollar should have a little bit more of an effect going forward. But in any case, dollar is up today. Futures are lower by about 3.5 points, and we'll leave it right there at that for now. We'll see how this all plays out and shakes out. But one thing, you do have some little bit of negative news coming out of Europe today. It looks like Fitch called upon the ECB, European Central Bank, to really prevent a financial collapse. And they also cited that Italy was still a big problem. So again, we'll just have to wait and see. The market really is not reacting in a terrible manner, so I don't think that the market really is getting frightened by it. If you do take a look at the euro today, you'll see that the euro started a little bit lower, and we'll just take a look at the FXE. Right now, it's recovered a bit, trading around 126.69. But yesterday, it did close at 127.22. So Europe is coming under pressure again this morning. A little bit of pressure. I don't want to make too much out of it. It's definitely weak in a downtrend, and still looks terrible on the charts. We break through the 126 level, then you really have to be concerned because the euro could be in free fall. But right now, until that happens, the euro is still hanging in there, although it really has been mutilated over the past couple of months. So that's where we stand with the European Union. Again, we'll have to watch for comments coming out of there. I believe there was some comments made by Germany's leader, Angela Merkel, who said that Germany was willing to pay more into the ESM fund at the start of the year to give a message to the markets. We'll see how that plays out, but that's a little bit of a positive statement. Normally, Germany's been very standoffish going forward, but in any case, watch the dollar. We'll tell you everything you need to know going forward. Let's take a look at a couple of other things today. Let's take a look at the U.S. At the gold market here. Gold is trading higher by about 9 points on the spot. Let's take a look at the GLD. GLD is trading right around 159.40, so decent little move. That's almost a point higher from yesterday's close. Yesterday, the GLD closed at $158.64. It looks like spot gold right now is trading right around the 1640 level per ounce. That's a decent little move for gold. We'll see if it can last. We do have the oil markets trading down a little bit today. Spot crude, I believe, is trading down about 50 cents to around the 101.70 level. Let's take a look at the USO this morning. Ahead of the open, you'll see the USO is trading down as well. Just a little bit, nothing drastic or terrible. Closed at $39.34. Today it's trading at $39.17. Oil is holding up very well at the moment. There's really nothing wrong with the daily chart of spot crude, WTI spot crude, or the USO. They're holding up very, very well. Little pullback here. I can't make much more out of it than that. So again, unless the dollar really strengthens, oil is still in very, very good shape at the moment. Now, let's get to a few stocks today that are in the news. I see that are moving around. I'm not sure what the news is on those stocks, but we will take a look at the charts. Start with Urban Outfitters. Stock is getting hammered this morning, trading around the 24.90 level, just underneath 25 bucks. The stock has pretty good support at 23, and then there's very, very good support at 21.50, 21.45. So watch those levels, but the stock is getting clipped this morning, trading just underneath the $25 level. There is support there for the stock around 25 bucks, but again, 23 and then ultimately down to the 21.50 area is going to be the better levels. But there is support right here around 24.85, 24.90, and that will be some chart support from November 25th. So there is a fair amount of support right in this vicinity right here. But if these levels break, you're looking really at 23 bucks, and then ultimately down to 21.50. 21.50 is a beautiful double bottom. That could be a buy right there if it gets there. But nonetheless, we'll see how the stock trades throughout the day. Once again, I'm not sure exactly what the news was on Urban Outfitters. Let's take a look at Microsoft. Microsoft's always an important name, especially since it's had a big run on the daily charts. If you take a look at the daily charts, Microsoft has really been exploding to the upside. Stock is a little bit of a parabolic move. It's definitely overbought. We go back intraday. They came out with news yesterday, I believe, after the close, saying that PC sales were going to be lower, but it doesn't really seem to be affecting the stock all that much. Stock closed at $27.84, trading at $27.42. So Microsoft looks to be in a consolidation mode or period right now, pulling back a little bit. I'm not seeing anything, all that bad on Microsoft. It just needs to pull back, and this is just normal progression after a big move that it's had. So to see a pullback here is not really that damaging, and that news doesn't seem to be hurting the stock whatsoever. Let's take a look at Crocs. This is the shoe manufacturer, the footwear apparel maker. The stock today is trading right around $16.83. Decent little move. It's up a little bit. Closed yesterday at $15.95. Stock has a wall, and mark my words here, wall of resistance at 18 bucks. So I don't know if it has another dollar of upside in there. It very well could, but there's a ton of resistance coming into play on this stock shortly. I don't expect it to get to 18 today, but hey, you never know. But $18 is going to be a wall of resistance if it does get up there. If it doesn't, I would not be shorting the stock either right now, as it's making a decent move out of a choppy base. So once again, 18 is the big resistance level. So it has a little bit of more upside to go before you hit really a wall of resistance, in my opinion. Let's take a look at Yoku. I saw this up earlier. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, this is still up pretty nicely. So this has had a pretty good little move. The stock looks pretty strong at the moment. Watch 1950 as your resistance points there. I would not be a buyer much higher than here. I wouldn't even be buying the stock up here, actually. You're at 19 already. So it does have another, 40 to 50 cents of upside. And then huge resistance around $20. But even 1950, 1945, $19.45, there will be very good resistance here. And it probably needs to backfill a little bit and pull back before it could try and make an attempt at those levels. Let's take a look at IDIX. This stock's having a decent little morning, trading up around the $13 level. I believe the stock closed at $12 yesterday. Do not touch this thing. It is already parabolic. It's already, springboarded higher. Really just got to leave it alone. I'm not sure what the news is there, but you cannot be a buyer up here. It's already parabolic move, needs to pull back. Let's take a look at Super Value. Here, Super Value is trading down this morning. Right now, a couple of levels that I'm noticing for Super Value. I like the $7.10 level. If it got down there, that's going to be a very good level. You're going to have short-term support at $7.63. I'm just not sure how much of a bounce you could get out of this thing. Most likely, that $7.63 will hold up in maybe just for a day or maybe just for a couple of hours. But ultimately, the buy on this for a bounce or swing type bounce, in my opinion, would be around the $7.12 level. Got to be very careful with this stock today. But right now, $7.63 is the next spot of support. Then you're looking at $7.42, and then ultimately down to around the double bottom, the recent double bottom, which would be around $7.10. So that's what we're looking at for Super Value. Not a pretty chart. Be careful there. Okay? I like the 710 level the best, just to give everybody a heads up. Alrighty, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Everything that I'm looking at this morning. Once again, futures are starting to tick down a little bit more. We do have some economic data due out today, so watch for that. I believe at 10:30 you're going to have crude inventory. Crude inventories are going to be released, so that could move the oil market a little bit. And then at 2 o'clock, 2 p.m., East Coast time, you're going to have the Fed's beige book. That always could be a market mover, but really, in my opinion, it's all about the dollar. It's all about the European Union, and that will move the dollar and that will move the market. With that said, everybody, have a great trading day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care now.